Hello, my name is Kevin and welcome to the Love Decanters channel. So this is part 7 of my visit to Click Antiques in Northampton, and yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit of worries about, am I going to find things new to show you, especially when I'm doing so much stuff, but that seems to be not the case. So it's like a bottomless pit of stuff digging into glass. So yeah, I hope you're still enjoying it. Yeah, so I don't really have much more to say than that. So let's get on. There was a few bargains to see, so let's get on and have a look at them. Haven't seen any of these for a while. These are Bagley Equinox balls. What's it got written in them? Bagley Equinox from 1938. I think they are, if I remember rightly, I think these are uranium glass, and they come in two shapes. It's the same mold that's upright, and so they are pressed glass, and some of them they squeeze in like this to make this shape, and some of them they squeeze out to make an open shape, but it is the same mold. They use wooden battens to do it with. So I think I probably told you this story before, but when I read it, I just thought it was so cool that I just keep repeating it. So the Bagley Equinox bowls, when they are made, they're pressed glass, okay? And the bowl goes straight up, okay? Like that, when it's made. And you don't see them like that, because what they do is they get, while it's still malleable, they get some wooden battens, and they knock it into this shape, or they knock it into this shape. I mean, if you look at this one here, look at the angle there, and then look at this one here, and it's a bit further around, and that's because this finishing off bit is kind of hand done. You can see it here very clearly. Look, that one bends in more than that one there, and yeah, so that is all hand knocked about. And also I thought I'd just do a Google so you could see some of the variations that Bagley did, so that they all came either frosted or clear, and you got black, pink, blue, green. I think the black ones are post-war. There's amber as well. I haven't found any clear in here. There's also polka dot, black with polka dot, and I think that's actually enamel. So, but you've also got them with these little transfers on. Yeah, so Bagley did quite a lot of transfers on glass, usually flowery stuff. There's some more flowery stuff, so not so keen on that, but anyway, that's what they did. But I just thought the whole idea that you would make some pressed glass and then beat it into shape with wooden battens is just cool. There's a pink frosted one there. Anyway, so 1938, that's when the design first came out. Everybody's putting 1930s on here, but 38 is the year. Got a trinket set here. This is not your normal patterns I see. Trinket set, and 3 pots, and I'm going to try and find this one. I've never really found any of the diamondy pattern ones before, but I'm going to give that one a go. This is the glasstrinketsets.com website, and we're looking in the English section. Bagley is the maker, and State 3098 is the pattern. Now, this isn't exactly the pattern that we're looking at, because this tray is exactly the same as the one that we were looking at on that shelf, but these pots are not the same. This looks about the same, that the little ring holder in the middle here, but the pots, that the handles on the pots had like a waffle diamond pattern on them, and these do not have that flattened diamond pattern on them. So I've been trying to track this down. I've looked through lots of other places. In here it also says Pieces of this pattern are also seen in the catalogues of pre-1958 Libočović, Sklo-Union, Czechoslovakia. Now, on here, there is a section for Czechoslovakia, and I have been through everything in it. There's even more than there is Bagley. And this pattern, or anything similar to it, or the tray, is not there. Yeah. So, potentially, it might be Libočović, or it's this a variation of this Bagley State 3098. So, yeah, that's not... It does say it's from 1939, so you could say it's a 1930s pattern, or a derivative of a 1930s pattern. Yeah, it's very hard. I'm thinking hard on this, but I'm not sure where to go. But yeah, I haven't been able to quite... It's very frustrating when you get something like this. You're almost there, especially if it's pressed glass, because it's either right or it's wrong, and some of it is right and some of it is wrong, which is a pain.
And we've got another cool trinket set in here. Look at this one. I'm going to find that one too. That one's more interesting. Just the texture of it is quite cool.
Sticking with the glasstrinketsets.com website, and still with Bagley, this is the Koh-i-Noor 3270 pattern. And it's actually a little bit later, 1964 to 75. You can see here it is. It looks like it's just in clear. Experimental iridescence. I don't think ours was the one that we were looking at was the experimental one. So just in clear. This is it. It's kind of... Let's have a look at the pictures. What this one? Yeah. So this is what we were looking at, and actually, in fact, all of the parts were there. So the little pin tray, the little buffet thing, and the candlesticks, and the overall tray. So there you go. Wasn't quite expecting that. Oh, and Koh-i-Noor, in case you're wondering what this means, it's the name of the diamond on top of the Queen's crown.
Got some more Babycham glasses, and yeah, so you got the original 50s ones with a little white Bambi on it, and then you've got the later ones. It says these are 60s. I think they are. I think the even later ones have the knees bent up, and then they're yellow. So yeah, I think that's right. I might be wrong, but I can look that up. I've seen this service before. Don't think it was this one. I have a feeling this is Neiman or something like that. I think it's a Polish one. I'm not definite. It's quite nice. I will look it up. It's got the full 6 glass. It's very, very deco, very stylish one.
So I've had a hunt around for a proper reference for the bowls. I can't find it at the moment. I have found a couple on sale on eBay. Here's one of them. So I think this is the serving bowl. There's another one here. This one's £12, but it's got a chip. This one's £21. And I was wondering if Julius Stolle is still going. And guess what? Julius Stolle was in Neiman, and Neiman Crystal is the same place, because here's the history, and it tells you all about what went on there. It sounds like it was big before the war. It employed 1,600 people, produced more than 1,500 bottles of cups, glasses, but yeah, so they're producing 1,500 different patterns. So yeah, and then tells you a little bit about Julius Stolle and what happened, etc., etc. And they made glass during the war for the Nazis. But you don't get a lot of choice in that in those days. So anyway, interesting though. Shop. So they do a lot of crystal. What's interesting, the thing, because I've had a quick punt around. Go to vases. I'm sure I've seen this one here, this blue one. I'm sure it's blue and green, I think. I'm sure I've seen that out and about somewhere. Yeah. So that's quite interesting to see that. I don't know what that is in pounds. Looks like a lot. Let me stop and work it out. Quick check, and it's £237 for this vase. So it's cased. In fact, actually, I think it's got a blush down here at the bottom. So it's three colours. It looks like it's green and blue case. Blue casing over green and amber or brown, I think. So anyway, that's yeah, just interesting to see. Most of the stuff is glasses and stuff. Did I see any decanters? I don't think I did. No. Yeah, that's no good. Anyway, there you go. They're still going today. Nyman Crystal. Never looked for them before. Found them now, though.
My thoughts on these goblets being all in poly is being destroyed here, because this one by Bondware, made in Japan. Flipping heck. So yes, I've seen two, one made in Sweden, one made in Japan. So it means nothing anymore. You can't just go around going Empoli, because I'm living and learning.
So I've tried to track down this Bondware from Japan, and I suspect it's one of those ones that hardly anybody knows about. I found this here. Look, it's the same label on. There's another goblet, similar. I don't think that's quite the same on Etsy, but the stem is the same. And then what else? So I did look in 20th Century Glass just to see, and I found this with a different label on it. This label here, but it's like a knowledge black hole. He doesn't tell you anything. It's just basically telling you it's a vintage red vase with a Bondware Japan label on it. Yeah. So I think we're kind of hitting. I saw someone say it's an import label. I don't know. Because, you know, when I go back here, if I go back to the full search, there's nobody popping up and telling you what this is about. So anyway, yeah, it's Bondware Japan. It's another one of those goblets where you're thinking, oh, it might be Empoli. But yeah, in fact, previously I would be going, it's Empoli, but now I know that there's a couple of others. Rogans on the street. So yeah, just to make my life a bit easier, I'm going to have to try and remember that stem, because it seems, and it's got a safety rim as well. But yeah, it's not helpful. Not helpful when people start making the same things, just slightly, with variations of the same things, in different continents even.
Really funny here. The one we were looking at before, the green one, there's a blue one here with only 4 bowls, and it's Julius Stoltz Niemann And yeah, I think they're Polish. I will look them up. I think, if my memory serves me right, they were closed by World War II, so makes them pre-war. And it would make a fantastic set with green and blue together out on the table if you have a lot of people around. A couple of really big Romanian vases here. This one with these strips down the side, I've seen this with the Romania label on it, so I know this is pre-1975. So yeah, don't know so much about this one though.
So I'm looking at the 20th Century Glass website, and yeah, actually I'm surprised that this isn't more knowledgeable, because I know that these types of vases were made in the same place as the Fish, which is a Padura Niagara factory in Romania. And I've seen one of these with a label on, a Romania RUM. And if that's the old spelling, that's pre-1975. So I know as a style, this kind here with these little white clear glass edges on like this, or applied loops or whatever. I don't know what. Anyway, these bits down the side. I've seen that with Romania, which means it's pre-1975 as a design. I thought I'd go online, because loads of people label these as Murano. So I just thought, what happens if I put in Romanian glass vase? And a few of them do appear, so people are starting to recognise. So here's one. Shape, there's a lot of variation in the shapes. It's the same kind of vase, usually with a wavy lip like this. Here's another one with little frills down the side, like we were looking at. Another one with frills down the side. And another one. A lot of them seem to have frills down the side. And then there's the plain ones, which tend to have like hoops in them. Or this one's got a hoop and a plain. But there's quite a few of them. I've seen a hand one. I've seen one like this at Helmswell Cliff. There's a hoop, one with a plain one with that hoop. That one's got a frill. That one's got 2 frills as well. So yeah, there's like 7 pages of this. So if you want to buy yourself a quick 30 or 40, I suspect you could. And their prices seem to be $15, $12.99. Yeah, they're not expensive things, and they're not super quality. They're just big decorative vase, and that's it. They're not trying to be something they're not. So saying I'm not finding any now. Anyway, you've seen enough of them, so yeah.
Got a couple of pieces, interesting bits next to each other here. We've got this China National Light Industrial Products Import-Export Corporation plum vase from the 1970s. And we've got this Ingrid glass Bart vase. It would have been better if it was a coloured one that was cased, but Ingrid, if you're looking for Bart vases, Ingrid are a really good substitute for white fries if you want the look but can't afford the price, because they're usually quite cheap at a huge chunk. It's £48, so it's probably a quarter of what it would be if it was a white fries one.
This is 20th Century Glass website, and this is a piece of Ingrid glass that I think is out the same mould as the one that we were just looking at, but it's in white glass. They don't tell you much. It said it's just from the 70s. It's German, of course. If I go back, you'll see that of the people that make this kind of glass, you got your backs of stuff, but I think I rate them, and I think they are underpriced. I mean, they do cased work like this. Let's have a look at this one here. This is See, cased, and the base is polished. They do polish the rim. I'm not so keen on that, but that's what they do. So they're not just making a cheap mold like some of the Ravenhead things, whatever. But anyway, yeah, I quite rate them. I think if you want the look, they're much cheaper than Whitefriars, and you get a similar level of quality, I think. So I just wanted to show you some of the prices. Look, here's a piece here, £35. Yeah, that's not. I don't think that's them. But look at this. This is cool. This is a bit more. This is 152. This is in Germany. So yeah, so that's quite a cool textured one. It's not a bark one. There's another one. That's quite a cool textured one as well. $39.99 from Germany. So you can see the prices are not really comparable with Whitefriars. Another £35. And these used to be cheaper. They used to be like 15 quid. So the prices are starting to go up. The nicer ones, like these cased ones, something like this. This is quite nice, £61. So yeah, if you're just looking for the look of either textured glass or this bark glass, I think these are the ones to get. The prices are definitely shifting. They've shifted away from the £15 mark. So yeah, definitely worth collecting if you're thinking of going that way for this type of glass. So anyway, that's my thoughts on Ingrid glass. So yeah, one to watch. We're looking at an article on the Glass Museum by Angela Bowie. And yeah, so this article is about plum blossom vases from the China National Light Industrial Products Import-Export Corporation. Now, and she's got a trade, some adverts from 1972. So, and she's saying that people are saying these are Victorian, then she's saying they're not Victorian. Anyway, this vase is in here. It's this one here. I don't see many of this actual pattern, the FV230. Now, let me explain something that's not quite right about this article. People are not most often saying these are Victorian. They're most often saying they are Murano. Now, if you look, one of the colours they use is quite a bright orange. And I thought, let me just see if what I am thinking is true. Okay, so I typed in orange Murano vase into eBay, and the very first vase on there is plum blossom. Yeah, so there's one. And I started scrolling just to see, yeah, am I really on the right course here? Look, there's another one. There's another one. There's another one. And you get, there's another one. So you see where I'm coming from here. When I say, yeah, they're usually Murano. People describe them as Murano. There's another one. Yeah, that's enough. So, and they're not even trying to be like Murano. The shape, some of the shapes are like this one here. Look, let's have a look at this one. Let me explain something about it. This is a very typical Chinese pottery style. We see these little handles here on the side. This is like Chinese pottery. You know, the whole thing is like emulating Chinese pottery. It's got nothing to do with Murano or even trying to copy Murano. So it's, when people are saying that these are copying other people, it's total BS. They are their own thing. They're from China. You can spot them a mile away across the room because they have their own look about them. So anyway, that's me off my high horse. I just thought I would have to say something because I see so many people saying that they're copying.
So we've got a few weird bits. This is interesting though. Victorian dump bars, paperweight. They're also using door stops I don't really know the story behind them. This is a nice one because it's got like a double flower in it. Some of them have nothing, or they just have bubbles. But yeah, the flowery ones are... People used to collect them. It's not really that much of a collectible anymore, but they are quite cool things.
So I've always thought of Victorian glass dumps as an old school collectible. People used to collect them. They have a certain look about them. Sometimes they have flowers in them. Sometimes they just have bubbles. Sometimes they have hardly any bubbles in them. But anyway, just looking at, I thought, yeah, all I've done is typed in Victorian glass dump. And they're actually, people saying paperweights. But I think they were more doorstops because some of them are pretty big. But anyway, I was a little surprised at the prices here. I thought they were cheaper than this. It's like £95, 85. Yeah, I don't know what that is. That's off the scale. That's not right. But yeah, some of these prices are quite decent prices. Little surprise. That's quite a cute one. So yeah, there's a lot of variation in them. Or even though they're all a green lump of glass with either bubbles or flowers in, and that's pretty much how they are. But even then, if you look at this one here, it's different, isn't it, to when you look at that one. Yeah, so they're not high art. They're used. I think they were made as doorstops, literally. So, but you can see there is, if you're collecting them, there is plenty of variation, and because they're kind of like one-off pieces, that's a bit weird. That one there. You can correct. I think I did see. Hang on, there was a little picture. I think it was a stock picture of them somewhere. There we go. So you can create a little collection like that of all different ones, and even when you're going, yeah, the bubbles are similar, but they're still not the same. So yeah, I think these may even be a sort of like an end of day thing, as opposed to be a main production article. But anyway, that's what that dump was. It was £35, if I remember rightly. Let me just check. £35 with flowers in. That one is a bit of a bargain. So yeah, don't expect to see it there the next time I go. But anyway, yeah, £35 I think is cheap when you're looking at the prices on eBay. So yeah, that's decent.
Got a couple of seahorses here. This one says Medina Seahorse. I've looked underneath. It's signed. It's quite a nice, light coloured one. This one doesn't look like the other one. The head does, but the body does not. Yeah, this is a different kettle of fish, and it's not signed. So it makes me think, is it someone like a Phoenician glass one, or a Matafa or something? Yeah, that's really unusual. Look, I've never seen a seahorse that looks like that. I mean, the head is just, made exactly the same way as the other one, but the body is very different, and the colour.
Little brown seahorse kind of intrigued me a little bit. It wasn't your normal. And looking at it again here, I needed to go and hunt and see if I could figure out what it was, because I realised that this is a little search on Medina seahorses, and if you look at the manes, none of the manes are crimped. So the one we were looking at, the little brown one, had a crimped mane to emulate hair, and none of these do. So this is my search on Medina seahorses. Not a single one has the mane crimped to look like hair. So I thought, Let's try someone else. I tried Gozo. And yeah, I didn't get very much out of Gozo, actually, to tell the truth. I'm not even sure any of these are Gozo seahorses. So that was a no-go. No-go Gozo. Then what was the one I would try? I think it's this one here, Phoenician. Yeah, I'm not sure any of these are Phoenician either, like Gozo. So no-go Phoenician. However, I did try Metafa. And yeah, so this is what I got from Metafa seahorses. And yeah, quite a lot of them are actually Medina ones. There's the odd Waterford one as well, stuffed in here. There's Waterford. But I did see one. Where is it? This one here. Look at that. So that one looks like it's from the same people. And they say, because the shape of the body's the same. And then it's got this here. Actually, I didn't click through. So this is on Etsy, which is not always. So does he have a label or something for him to say it's Metafa? Why did he say it was Metafa? It's got something written underneath it. I think I can see it there. Do they give you another view of it? No. What's he say here? This is what happens when you don't look beforehand. Anyway. He seems very keen that it's Metafa. Unsigned. I think he's probably right. I don't entirely trust him. He's not saying it's Medina, which would be normal. Yeah. It might be Metafa. I'm not going to say 100%. I think this is the same maker. I can't, because it's Etsy. They're usually pretty rubbish at IDing stuff. Well, I don't want to say usually, but let's say frequently are rubbish at identifying stuff. I'm going to trust him for now because it is an unusual label to stick on it. So let's say the brown one was a Metafa one. So I hope you enjoyed that. The dump near the Victorian glass dump near the end of that's real old school stuff. People used to collect them, but it seems like I'm a little surprised because I thought the prices would be much lower now. They're kind of like back at the prices they used to be when, actual fact, theoretically, that was a lot more money because I know that I was earning a lot less then. Even regardless of people just earned a lot less then when I started. So yeah, I'm a little surprised at how much they're at, even if they haven't kept up with inflation. So that was interesting. Anyway, with that said, I've got to do my usual roundup. All the references I used will be in the description below. All the contact details for Click will be in the description below. And please remember to like and subscribe because it really helps my channel. So thank you for watching. Have a good night. Good night.